Hello students, welcome back to St. Austin's YouTube channel. This is your online mathematics class. In the previous videos, we have completed chapter number 8, Introduction to Trigonometry. Today, we will be starting chapter number 14, Statistics. What is statistics? Statistics is the branch of mathematics that deals with the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation and presentation of data. Whenever we collect the data by a survey or whatever, we need to sort that data, we need to compare the data, we have to make various calculations on that data. For example, we have to find the mean, median, mode of that data, etc. So, all of these come into statistics. Next, what is the type of data? Data can be classified into two types, ungrouped data and grouped data. Ungrouped data is the data in its original or the raw form. The observations are not classified into groups. For example, if I am considering the class, the age of all the people present in a classroom of kindergarten kids with the teacher are as follows: 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, so on. This implies that we have just collected the data. This is the data in its raw form. Okay, we have not arranged the data, we have not arranged it in any group, or we have not sorted out in the ascending or the descending order. This is the raw data. So, this is known as the ungrouped data. Next, we have the group data. When we group the data, we are classifying it. For example, see, here this is the table given to you for a class of students for different marks in a school exam. This implies mark interval 0 to 20. This implies that 13 students are getting marks between 0 to 20. 9 students are getting marks between 20 to 40. 36 are getting marks between 40 to 60. 14 are getting marks between 60 to 80. And 8 students are getting marks between 80 to 100. So, this is how we classify the data into various groups by making a class interval or the mark interval. So, this kind of data is known as the group data, and this data in its rawest form is known as the ungrouped data. Next, we have mean. In the junior classes, you might have studied about the central tendencies. The central tendencies are first mean, median and mode. First of all, we have mean. Mean is also known as the arithmetic mean or the average. Okay, the formula to calculate mean is sum of all the observations upon total number of observations. See, for example, these are the marks obtained by students of a class in maths test. These are their marks: 10, 15, 10, 20, 25. Okay, now if we have to find the mean for this data, what do we have to do? We have to add all of these values. See, 10 plus 15 plus 10 plus 20 plus 25, and we have to divide it by the total number of observations. What is the number of observation? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So, we have 5 observations. So, we divide the sum of all the observations with 5. So, we get the answer as 16. This implies that 16 is the mean of all these values. Next, we have median. Median is the middle value for a set of data that has been arranged in order of magnitude. This implies that whenever we have some data, for example here, these are the set of numbers, okay, and we have to find the median of these values. So, what do? The first step, we arrange these numbers in either ascending or descending order. Here we are arranging these numbers in the ascending order. So, we have written all these numbers in the ascending order, that is from increasing order: 1, 8, 8, 12, 14, 16, 24, 30, 30, 31, 42, 45 and so on. And then we have to take the exact central value. How do we find the exact central value? See, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This implies n equals to 13. We have total 13 data values, and in the junior classes we know if we have to find the middle value, then we have to use the formula n plus 1 upon 2, that is 13 plus 1 upon 2, which is 14 by 2 or 7. This implies the 7th value will be our median. The 7th value is, this is the first value, this is the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and this is the 7th value. So, this will be our median. This is the case when we have odd number of data values. If in case we had even number of data values, for example, if n equals to 14, if n would have been 14 here, suppose we are writing one more value here, 15. In this case, we would have to take the average of the 7th and the 8th value. We have to take the average of 7th and the 8th value. So this will be 24 plus 30 by 2. This is what? This is 54 by 2. In that case, the median would have been 27. Okay. So this is how we find the median. Next we have the mode. Mode is the most frequent data value in a data set, or in other words, the data value which is repeated maximum number of times is called the mode. For example, these are our data values. See, 61 is coming only once, 62 is coming once, 63 is appearing twice. Here also we have 63, here also we have 63. So 63 is coming twice, 66 is coming once, 67 is also appearing twice, 68 and 70 are also appearing one time. Okay. So the data value which is repeated the maximum number of time would be 63 and 67. Hence we say 63 and 67 will be the mode for these data values. Next we have methods of finding the mean. Now we have different methods of finding the mean. The first method is the direct method. Okay. Now for example, this is the marks of the students and the number of students getting that marks. Okay. This table has been given to us. See, 6 students are getting 4 marks, 3 students are getting 5 marks, 2 students are getting 6 marks, 3 students are getting 7 marks, 4 students are getting 8 marks and 2 students are getting 9 marks. We denote this as x, the observations we denote as x, the number of students or how many times the data value has been repeated is known as the frequency, and we denote this value by f. The next we need to find the product of f and x. So this will be 4 into 6 24, 5 into 3 15, 6 into 2 12, 7 into 3 21, 8 into 4 32, 9 into 2 18. Okay. In the next step, what do we have to do? We need to find the sum of these all values, that is summation f, and we also have to find the sum of these values, this is summation fx. So the formula for the arithmetic mean would be sum of all of these values and denoted by summation f. So the mean is equals to summation fx upon summation f, that is this value divided by this value, and by calculation the mean comes out to be 6.1. So this is the direct method of finding the mean. Next we have the assumed mean method. Here what do we have to do? See, this is the table given to us. We have the class interval 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. This should be 50, 40 to 50. And then we have the frequency. This implies that 7 data values we are getting between 0 and 10. 8 values we are getting between 10 and 20. 12 values we are getting between 20 and 30. 13 values we are getting between 30 and 40. And 10 values we are getting between 40 and 50. In the next step, we have to find the mid value from this class interval. How do we find the mid value? Mid value is denoted by xi, and this is equals to lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. See here, 0 is the lower limit, 10 is the upper limit divided by 2. So we got the middle value as 5. Similarly, here we are getting the middle value as 15, here we are getting as 25, here we are getting as 35, and here this is 45. Okay. Now since this is the assumed mean method, this implies we have to assume a value to be the mean. So we are considering the exact central value 25 to be our assumed mean, and we denote this by A. Next we have to find the deviation. Deviation, that means xi minus 25. So see, for the first term, xi's value is what? 5. So 5 minus 25. We are getting minus 20. For next one, we are getting 5 minus 25, that is minus 10. 25 minus 25, we will get the value as 0 here. And then 35 minus 25, we are getting 10. Again 45 minus 25, we are getting 20. So these values are for the deviation. Minus 20, minus 10, 0, 10, 20. Now we have to multiply Fi and Di. This is our Fi, this is our Di. When we are multiplying, 7 into minus 20 gives us minus 140. 8 into minus 10 gives us minus 80. 12 into 0 gives us 0. 13 into 10 gives us plus 130. 10 into 20 gives us 200. When we add all of these values, we get this. Summation Fi Di equals 210. Also we have to add the frequency values also. So this is summation Fi equals to 50. Now the formula for mean in the assumed mean method will be x bar equals to a plus summation Fi Di upon n. A is what? 25. We considered a to be 25. Summation Fi Di is 110 and summation Fi is 50. When we do all the calculations, we will be left with the answer 27.2. So 27.2 will be our mean. This is calculation of mean by the assumed mean method. Next we have the step deviation method. In step deviation method also the table formulation of the table is similar only. Here we have the cost of living index 1400 to 1500, 1500 to 1600, 1600 to 1700, 1700 to 1800, 1800 to 1900, 1900 to 2000. We have to find the mid value. How do we find the mid value? Lower limit How do we find the mid value? Lower limit plus upper limit by 2. So 1400 plus 1500 by 2, this value comes out to be 1450. And the next for this 1500 and 1600, the middle value is 1550. Next we have 1650, 1750, 1850, 1950. So these all values are xi. Then next we have the frequency given in the question only. The frequency 5, 10, 20, 9, 6 and 2. Okay. In the next step we have to find the deviation. We consider this value, this central value 1650 to be our assumed mean. Let's take this as A. Deviation we know xi minus A. Xi minus A, so 1450 minus 1650 gives us minus 200. 1550 minus 1650 gives us minus 100, and so this is our deviation table. Okay, in the next method we need to find the ui. What is ui? Whatever value we are getting here, we need to divide it with h. H is our class interval. The interval is what is of 100, so we need to divide all of these values by 100. Minus 200 by 100 gives us minus 2. 100 by 100 gives us minus 1. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. So this is the ui. Minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now we have to multiply fi and ui. So 5 into minus 2 is minus 10. 10 into minus 1 is minus 10. 20 into 0 is 0. 9 into 1 is 9. 6 into 2 is 12. 2 into 3 is 6. Again we have to take the sum of the last column. Summation fi ui, this comes out to be 7. Summation fi, that is the sum of all the data values, all the frequency is 52. In the step deviation method, this is the formula that we are using. Mean is equals to assumed mean plus h into 1 upon n into summation fi ui. 1 upon n is nothing but the sum of all the frequencies. So here on putting all of these values, we get 1650 plus 100 into 7 by 52. This value comes out to be 1663.46 approx. So this is the calculation of mean by the step deviation method. Let's consider a few questions based on these methods so that all of this becomes more clear to you. The questions based on these you will find in exercise 14.1. Question number 1. Here in question number 1, it is given to you, a survey was conducted by a group of students as a part of their environment awareness program, in which they collected the following data regarding the number of plants in 20 houses in a locality. Find the mean number of plants per house. First of all, we need to arrange the table in a proper way. So here we are writing number of plants. We can take this value as x. Next we have number of houses. So this is the frequency. Okay. See here, number of plants 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 12 and 12 to 14. These are the x values. Now the frequency 1 to 1, 1, 2, 1, 5, 6 to 3. These are our frequency values. Next we have to find the mid value. Mid value we denote as xi. How do we calculate the mid value? Lower limit plus upper limit by 2. So 0 plus 2 by 2 will be 1. Here we have 3, here we have 5, here we have 7, then we have 9, then we have 11 and last we have 13. This is xi. Next, which method did you use for finding the mean and why? Now see, here the frequency values are also small and the xi values are also very small. So it's easy to do the multiplication. Therefore, we can use the direct method only. Now we find fi into xi. We need to multiply these two values. 1 into 1 gives us 1. 2 into 3 gives us 6. 1 into 5 is 5. 5 into 7 is 35, 6 into 9 is 54, 2 into 11 is 22, 3 into 13 is 39. Okay. In the next step, what do we have to do? We need to find the sum of all of these values. This is summation fi. This is equals to 3, 4, 9, 9 plus 6, 15, 15 plus 2, 70, 17 plus 2. This is 20. And also we need to find the sum of these values. Summation fi xi equals to summation fi xi we have 162. Now we know mean is equals to summation fi xi upon summation fi. So this is 162 divided by 20. This value comes out to be 8.1. Hence, the mean number of plants is 8.1. This is our mean. This was question number 1. Next we have question number 2. Consider the following distribution of daily wages of 50 workers of a factory. Daily wages in rupees is given to you in the form of class interval 100 to 120. 12 workers have their daily wage between 100 and 120. 14 have between rupees 120 and 140. 8 have between 140 and 160. 6 have between 160 and 180. And 10 workers have their daily wage between rupees 180 and 200. We have to find the mean daily wage of the workers of the factory by using an appropriate method. Whenever in the question you've been asked to use to find the mean using the appropriate method, this implies we can use whichever method which we find easy enough, whichever method makes our calculation easy, we can use that method. First of all, let's arrange the table properly. So here we have daily wages. We are considering this as x, 100 to 120, 120 to 140. 140 to 180, 180 to 200, 200 to, okay, this is it. 180 to 200 was our last value. This is what 160, what the hell, 140 to 160, 160 to 180 and 180 to 200. These are our x values. Then we have the number of workers. We are considering this as Fi. So this is 12, 14, 8, 6 and 10. 12, 14, 8, 6 and 10. Next we need to find the midpoint. Okay. Mid value, we denote this as xi. Okay, how do we find the mid value? Lower limit plus upper limit by 2. So this comes out to be 110, 130, 150, 170 and 190. Okay, these are our mid values. Now if you can see here, xi values are coming out to be large enough, so we can use either the assumed mean method or we can also apply the step deviation method. Let me consider 150 to be our assumed mean A. Okay, now we'll find the deviation. Deviation we denote by di, and this is equals to xi minus A. That means we need to subtract A from the xi values. So 110 minus 150 will be minus 40. 130 minus 150 will be minus 20. 150 minus 150 will be 0. 170 minus 150 will be 20. 190 minus 150 will be 40. This is the deviation. Now next, let's take ui. For ui, what do we have to do? We have to divide these values by by our interval. Okay, interval we have of what? 20 rupees. So we need to divide di by 20. So here we get minus 40 by 20 is minus 2, this is minus 1, this is 0, this is 1 and this is 2. In the next step, we will multiply ui with fi. So fi into ui. Minus 2 into 12. Minus 24. Minus 1 into 14 is minus 14. 0 into 8 gives us 0. 1 into 6 gives us 6. 2 into 10 gives us 20. The sum of summation fi and ui, this value will be 26 and this is 38. So 26 minus 38. This value comes out to be minus 12. So here we have minus 12. Okay. And what is summation fi? Summation fi is 26. 26 plus so this value is 50. Summation fi we have summation fi equals to 50. Okay. Now mean, what is mean? Mean by the step deviation method is equals to assumed mean plus h into summation fi ui upon summation fi. See, assumed mean we considered 150 plus class interval is of 20. So h equals to 20. Then again summation fi ui is minus 12 and summation fi is 50. On solving this, we get the answer as rupees 145.2. This implies the mean daily wage of the workers of the factory is rupees 145.2. The method we used here is step deviation method. Looking at the data values, now because the xi values were very large enough, so in order to ease our calculation, we used the step deviation method.